3 comparts sold out tonight, jammed to the rafters for the 49ers and the Denver Broncos and much, much more. A few moments ago, Jerry Rice, who returns to the 49er lineup tonight after 15 weeks following major knee surgery, was introduced to this audience. Making his return to the lineup tonight at wide receiver from Mississippi Valley State, number 80, Jerry Rice. And even more, Joe Montana's number will be retired at halftime. A very meaningful game here tonight. The 49ers and the Broncos. The 49ers have won their division, but if they can win tonight, they will lock up that very important home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. For the Broncos, also very important. They come in tonight, Al, they need a win to stay with Kansas City, but they're also going to need help.
Right, they're trying to regroup in a sense because this is a team, strangely enough, that could wind up with 13 victories this season, have the second best record in their conference, and yet be forced to play 3 games to get to the Super Bowl, including 2 on the road. Now, they're coming off a game last week in which they led Pittsburgh 21-7 and lost the game to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are much, much better at home and have been through the years. They're 7-0 at Mile High Stadium and only 4-3 away from home this season. So for the Denver Broncos, tonight's game is not only important mathematically, but emotionally. To beat a good team on the road, something they're probably going to have to do a couple of times to be able to play in San Diego in the Super Bowl at the end of January. Meanwhile, Dan, the 49ers are thinking in a whole other direction. If they win tonight, they don't have to leave the state for the rest of the year.
No, because they'll just go down the pike to San Diego, Al. They do know what's at stake. That's because here in the NFC, if you've had home field advantage in 5 of the last 6 years, you've not only stayed at home, you've gone on and you have won the Super Bowl. And these very playoff-savvy 49ers know how important that is for them. And tonight it'll be the usual cast of characters. Steve Young enters the game, the NFL's highest-rated quarterback. Now, Jerry Rice, as you saw, will play tonight. He's not going to start at wide receiver. Owens and Stokes will do that. He's going to be their 3rd wide receiver, but he is it for the game. He's going to get maybe 15 or 20 snaps in that position. And, boy, we'll be watching every single step he takes. The marquee matchup tonight, though, is the number 1 rated defense of the 49ers against the number 1 rated offense of the Denver Broncos. I don't know what more you could ask for tonight from San Francisco. 2 teams destined for the playoffs. Joe Montana's jersey retired at halftime.
Hey, but what's the criteria for how long he will play?
Well, he's going to play on occasion throughout the game, and I want to get him in the game here on the first drive a little bit. But it'll all depend on how his leg is feeling. If he's feeling good, well, then we'll play him probably a little bit more. But if he feels anything at all, then we'll pull back.
I know everybody just wants to see him play and walk up healthy.
You bet.
Coach, thank you.
Okay.
Al?
All right, thank you, Lynn. So we have Elway against Young. We have a team seeking to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Jerry Rice back. Montana's number retired at the half. Terrell Davis. Apart from that, not much happening here tonight. Here we go from San Francisco. A beauty on Monday night as Jason Elam kicks off. Taken at the 3 by Chuck Levy, who's the fastest of the 49ers. And the former Arizona Cardinal brings it back to the 34-yard line. Steve Young. Again, a great year, seeking his 5th passing title. Leads the league in pass rating. 18 touchdowns this season, only 6 interceptions. Terry Kirby out of the backfield because Garrison Hurst is hurt. William Floyd, the fullback. Stokes and Owens, the wideouts. And the retiring Brent Jones, the tight end. Deese, Brown, Dolman, Gogan, and Sprafford. It's a mix-and-match offensive line that's gotten better week after week. And the first pass is dropped by William Floyd, the fullback. He'll run a lot, about 10 times tonight, and they'll throw to him a lot, but he drops this one. Defensively, a 4-3 for Denver. Neil Smith on his way to the Pro Bowl. Trailer, Tanavasa comes back from an injury, and Alfred Williams. Mobley having a great year. Aldridge and Romanowski, the linebackers. Bill, an ex-49er. Crockett and Gordon at the corners. Atwater and Braxton, the safeties. Gordon's had a fine year until last week when he was burned for 3 touchdown passes. 2nd down and 10. And Young, good protection. Over the middle, Floyd makes the catch. And Floyd fights his way to the 38. Now it's 3rd and 5. And Jerry Rice is coming into the game. Here he is as the 3rd wide receiver.
The one thing the 49ers are going to do tonight, according to Steve Mariucci, is when Rice is in the game, they're going to do a lot of motion. They want Jerry on the move. They know that Denver doesn't know quite what to expect, whether he'll play from the slot or split out wide. But this defies all that we used to think about rehabilitation from a knee surgery.
Slot right, and in motion goes Rice. And Young, under pressure, throws underneath, caught by Kirby, breaks the tackle, first down and a lot more. And down the sidelines he goes, and finally forced out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Oh, good call. They bring Rice in motion. Dan said they're going to motion him a lot. They bring him in motion, then bring him to the left side, and then drive him across the field the other direction, and they screen that way.
Frank, that might have been the most highly publicized decoy in the history of football.
There's Rice underneath the screen now to the outside. Ray Brown out in front of it with the block, looking for somebody to crush. And there is where Kirby steps out, and they mark it at the 26. Terrific call.
Back conventionally now, first down at the 26-yard line out of the I formation. Floyd the fullback, Kirby the tailback. Kirby had become what Steve Mariucci referred to as 1A this season as Brown gets into it for the moment with Lodish. Garrison Hurst had assumed the lead role. He was the featured back, but with Hurst hurt and they hope to have him back for the playoffs, Kirby has to play, not in an every down situation, but a lot more.
Well, Garrison Hurst was a guy that they really counted on to bang it in there. He's got 1,019 yards, and the 49ers are hopeful his broken collarbone will allow him to come back 5 weeks after the injury. That would be for their first playoff game after the bye week.
Could well happen, too. It wasn't displaced, and they feel confident he will be back.
Second and 10. Owens now in motion. And a little swing pass to Kirby. Cuts it back, takes it to the 18-yard line, a little short of the first down, tackled by Crockett. It's third down, short 2, long 1 in that neighborhood.
Well, with Garrison Hurst out of the lineup, the 49ers they admit they're going to have to open up their offense a little more. Hurst with the 1,000 yards rushing, and this is Kirby, former Miami Dolphin, who is a rookie at 75 receptions, good receiver, but the 49ers feel they have to open up their offense a little more. They have to get Steve Young into it, maybe even on a draw play, and Rice back into the lineup and split out to the right.
Rice one-on-one with Ray Crockett. Third and short. Young looks the other way, throws over the middle into a lot of traffic, and he tried to jam it into Brent Jones, who has announced his retirement at the end of this season. Alan Aldridge breaks it up. So it's fourth down and 2, and Gary Anderson, who's approaching Nick Lowry's career field goal mark, will try to come one closer.
Well, there's so much emotion here. Brent Jones, one of the great 49ers, over 400 receptions, a terrific guy, and this will be his last regular season game played here at San Francisco.
Anderson, 32 field goals on Monday Night Football. Mark Mosley, the record 33, trying to match that with a 35-yarder. And the longtime Steeler is no good. Hits the upright. So the 49ers get the big third down play and can't cash in. They bog down off the opening drive. 3:15 into the game. San Francisco nothing, Denver nothing. Quarter take over for the first time. John Elway's numbers in his 15th season. The man who has guided his team as a starting quarterback to 137 career wins. More than any quarterback in history. First down at the 26-yard line. And Elway gives the ball to Terrell Davis, battling with Barry Sanders for the rushing title. And Davis's first carry of the night is a 6-yard gain. The ball came loose, but after it hit the ground, Woodall makes the tackle. The supporting cast for Elway. Terrell Davis in his third year, looking for a 2,000-yard season. Howard Griffith, the blocking back. Smith and McCaffrey are the wideouts, and Shannon Sharp, the tight end. Zimmerman, Diaz-Infante. Nalen will go to the Pro Bowl as an alternate. Habib and Jones, the interior 5. From the 32-yard line, second down and 4. Davis again, and Davis runs into his own man and the 49er front. He ran right into Nalen. Bryant Young was there.
Yeah, who ran right into Bryant Young. That was a three-way collision. A fascinating matchup tonight. Obviously, everybody knows how well Denver runs the ball, with Davis having over 1,700 yards. This is the #2 run defense in the NFL here in San Francisco. And that is just a case of Bryant Young driving, nailing back. But the last couple of weeks, the 49ers have been burned by Kansas City and Minnesota. 153, 143 yards.
3rd and 7, and it's caught for a first down by Rod Smith. Rod Smith coming into his own this season, 62 catches, stopped by Tim McDonald, 15-yard gain and a first down.
Smith having a great year. Great story coming up from the practice squad.
49er defense, Barker, Young, Stubblefield leads the league in sacks, and Dolman, Woodall, Plummer, and Norton, the linebackers. And the secondary, the great Rod Woodson with Marquez Pope back from an injury. McDonald and Hanks with the safeties. Big-time defensive unit. First down at the 44-yard line. Inside handoff, and they give it to Howard Griffith, who came over from Carolina as a free agent, mainly a blocking back, occasional ball carrier, stopped by Pope, gain of 3.
Dan talked about the 49ers being #2 in the league against the run. They are #1 against the pass, so they've had a great year defensively.
Yeah, it's just the last couple of weeks. Steve Mariucci and the staff a little concerned that they've been pounded up. When you're only giving up an average of 82 yards a game, to give up double those numbers the last 2 weeks is a cause for concern, especially preparing to head into the playoffs. They'd like to tighten that up tonight.
2nd down and 6. Elway, the play fake, and then the pass is high, intended for Rod Smith. One-on-one with Marquez Pope. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Overthrown by John Elway. He shakes his head. He knows he should have had that one. Rob Smith hooked up for the first down in front of Marquez Pope. Marquez Pope was out for so many games, came back last week after being injured in the second game, and this was just a little too much smoke on it. John a little keyed up early in the game here.
Third down and 6. 4 receivers set. Elway dances away, and then it's incomplete. Rod Smith couldn't hold on. Rod Woodson might have gotten a hand on it.
Well, he was close to it. Woodson, a terrific story.
Woodson just
sits from Pittsburgh. He sits right in his face, and that's a little handful of him too as he comes across, Dan.
But he's on that thing.
there.
He's on that thing all the way. Doesn't even have to extend himself hardly to make a play on the football. Rod Woodson is all over eating up that coverage, eating up that route by Smith.
Tom ruins a punt. Ihani Owezike is back to receive for the 49ers. Owezike drops it at the 11. It's a live football. Hit by John Mobley, the linebacker, who's also great on special teams, and Denver has it. So Owezike dancing at the 11, dropped it. Dedrick Dodge, the former 49er, comes up with it, but John Mobley created the play.
For some reason, he didn't call for the fair catch. That's hard to believe.
NFL terminology, that's a muff. Never had possession, and it just goes right through right off his shoulder pads, I think.
That's a pancake there. He took a tremendous shot. Mobley, very active, very athletic.
But the ball was long gone before Mobley hit him. Owezike, no chance. That ball hits him right in the face mask.
Right in the face mask.
And the shoulder pad. You can only assume that he lost that somewhere in the lights. Owezike has fielded thousands of punts. Most of them, I'm sure, a lot better than that.
His second fumble punt in the last 4 games. 1st and goal, Denver at the 6 as they try to capitalize. And they give it to Davis. And Terrell picks up a couple to the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Junior Bryant in on the tackle with less than 9 minutes to go in a scoreless first quarter. Another look at the muffed punt.
Hard to think it would be the lights, though. It's coming right straight down, but it did. It got him right in the shoulder pads or the face mask, and then he just got creamed.
There's not a lot of wind. In fact, for here at Candlestick Point, a very, very calm night. But Owezike misjudging where this ball is going to drop.
Right in the mask.
Right in the face mask.
It is 2nd down and goal now from the 4-yard line. Davis moves the pile and gets in for the touchdown.
Boy, what a picture of power by a 210-pound running back. He does. I've said it over and over. He plays like a 240-pound running back. And you had a great view of his legs just driving and pounding and pushing and forcing the pile into the end zone.
Looked like they were on skids. The entire 49er defensive unit that was in position. Watch these guys just slide back into the end zone. Give a lot of credit to the left side of the offensive line of Denver. Ed McCaffrey, Zimmerman, Diaz-Infante. That's just superb.
Elam for the point after. That is the 15th touchdown of the season for Terrell Davis. Ties a team record that he set last year. The Mile High Salute, 7-0 Denver.
A fumble leading at 7-0 as Elam kicks off for the second time, and Chuck Levy brings it back from the 3. Levy taken down at the 22-yard line. That's where the Niners have it with 8:03 left in the first quarter. The Broncos 7 and the 49ers nothing. Team with Shannon Sharp off his shoulder to a 7-0 lead as the 49ers have it at their own 22-yard line. Niners' first drive resulted in a missed field goal, in case you're just joining us, and Steve Young gets hogtied by Alfred Williams.
Alfred Williams and Neil Smith are both playing hurt. They have had a real problem with torn tricep muscles in their arm, and Alfred Williams, a Pro Bowler a year ago, and he's just getting back. He's a little healthier than Neil Smith is, but a big play there. Nobody touched him.
I'm trying to figure out what Derek Deese is doing over at left tackle as he just waves at Alfred Williams, who goes to the inside and just lets him go. That's a Bob McKittrick not going to be happy. That's a blow up front by somebody. And Alfred, very smartly, doesn't drive Steve Young into the ground.
Bryson on 2nd and 20. That was a 10-yard sack. And Young looking in that direction. Caught by Jerry up to the 28-yard line. And there it is, 105 days, 15 weeks after the operation, a 16-yard reception.
And his consecutive streak of having a reception in how many games? 176, I believe.
He's trailing only Art Monk. That's 177 now.
And every person in America who has had surgery on a knee that's watching this game is now scratching their head in utter disbelief, myself included.
Ray Crockett hit him. 3rd down and 4 from the 28-yard line. Young throws, caught by Kirby, and he's tackled at the 30-yard line by Romanowski, and that's short of the first down. So 4th down, Rice comes out, kind of appropriate. His first reception is a 16-yarder with Montana's number getting retired tonight. Largent with the second longest streak and Monk with the longest streak, and Rice can get that next year. Art with 183. Tommy Thompson to punt, and Rice was saying before the game, he said, one of the reasons I spotlighted tonight, I said tonight's the night, was because Joe gets his number retired. He also said it gave him a goal to shoot for. Well, they made it. Tommy Thompson to punt. It's a low, short kick. A fair catch is called for, but letting it go was Darian Gordon, and it is down at the 42-yard line. Only a 28-yard boot, so the Broncos in pretty good shape here in terms of field position. 5:57 left in the quarter. Denver 7, San Francisco nothing. The 82nd guy chosen in the 1979 draft, Joe Montana, looking on from a suite, and at the half is numbered to be retired in a ceremony as Denver on first down. Elway on the roll hits Dwayne Carswell, and he's taken down for no gain. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by the complete line of 1998 Lincoln. Bay Bridge on the Starknight night. 2nd down and 10 from the 42-yard line as Terrell Davis finds very little room to roam and is taken down at the 44, and a flag comes in. Ken Norton may have had a face mask, may have had him by the face mask, and Phil Luckett, a rookie referee refereeing his first Monday night game, will make the call.
Well, the flag was thrown by the umpire, who's standing right behind Ken Norton.
Face mask on the defense, number 51, 5 yards only. It is still second down.
Not flagrant, so it will be second down, but that was certainly unnecessary.
Seeing there were about 6 other guys in on the
he was
tackle.
stopped.
And there you see at the top of the picture, see the left hand of Ken Norton. Not often you see a running back pointing to a face mask while it's happening.
Second down and 3. Davis's 6th carry of the night as he turns the corner, and Davis is forced out of bounds very close to a first down, just inside the 48 by Merton Hanks.
Boy, I'll tell you, he is bruising. That's twice he has just bowled Hanks over.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was forced anywhere by Merton.
He almost took Hanks' head off. But earlier in the game, the first time he carried the ball, Dan, you and I both saw it, he ran right over Hanks.
Well, talk about running big. That's what Terrell Davis does. He's only 210 pounds, but he does. This is not the way a 210-pound guy meets somebody.
He hurt you.
He hurt Merton Hanks on that.
It is a first down for Denver from the 47, and now it's Davis exploding through the hole. Tim McDonald stops him at the 40-yard line, a gain of 7.
Hanks again bowled over. Hanks, you're going to be a cheerleader out there. Hey, guys, stop him before he gets through to me.
And right now, John Marshall, the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, has to be thinking to himself, look out. Now, this is a couple of bad weeks defending the run, and we're not off to a good start tonight as Terrell Davis chases Barry Sanders.
Right up to the second, he trails Barry by 125 yards. Second down and 3 from the 40-yard line. Elway with a deep drop and then floats one, incomplete, intended for Davis.
You know, you'd think Barry Sanders is back home in Detroit resting easy tonight, thinking that the 49ers haven't let a back get 100 yards on them yet this season, and that so his lead ought to be safe. John Marshall there, the defensive coordinator of the Niners, but they've been gashed a little bit the last couple of weeks. And right now, he's got to be a little upset and maybe thinking about walking his safeties up a little closer to the line.
Davis has carried 7 times for 22 yards. Elway comes up in the gun. Denver leading 7-0. Here come the Niners. They pick up the blitz, and it is caught for a first down. That's Shannon Sharp's first catch of the night. And Shannon Sharp, who will be going to the Pro Bowl, is the recipient of his 60th pass of the season.
Shannon Sharp looking that right into the hands last week against the Steelers. The Denver Broncos dropped with Mike Shanahan estimated to be 11 passes. John Elway having a great game against the Steelers, but they were dropping passes all over the field a week ago. Shannon sure-handed ordinarily. And Mike Shanahan saying maybe they're getting a little too casual with it, but they are focused tonight.
Vaughn Everett joins Davis in the backfield. Elway throws, caught by Davis. He's tackled at the 32-yard line. They do go Davis's way a lot. That's his 41st catch of the year. Lee Woodall makes the tackle. Well, next week we'll wrap up our 28th year of Monday Night Football, and it couldn't have worked out any more perfectly in terms of drama. Patriots and the Dolphins. If the Jets beat Detroit next Sunday, then the winner of that game wins the AFC East. The loser is out of the playoffs. Even if the Jets lose, the winner of that game will host a wild card game. The loser would have to play on the road throughout the playoffs. Huge game in Miami next Monday. 2nd and 9. Davis taken down after a short gain. It is Chris Dolman and Lee Woodall converging on the stop. Dolman having a terrific year. Steve Mariucci says we are a veteran-friendly organization. Indeed they are. Dolman, one of 10 guys 34 years of age or older on this team.
And one of 9 guys on a defensive unit that has Pro Bowl experience.
Assisting there, Lee Woodall, he's well in excess of 30.
3rd down and 8. Elway hangs in the pocket, and the pass is broken up. Smith looks for a flag. No way. Merton Hanks knocked it away.
Hanks having a big year on his way to the Pro Bowl, looking for his 6th interception. Plenty of time for John. They pick up the blitz. You can see there. Hanks with good coverage. Davis out of the backfield and stepping in front, just timing it perfectly.
Now Jason Elam, this will be a 49-yard field goal attempt. Tom Ruin was spotted at the 39-yard line. Off a muddy surface. And the kick hooks back through the uprights. Started to the right, drew it back in. Denver adds 3. They lead 10-0. For a 10-0 deficit right now. It's the Wazake fumble that led to a 6-yard touchdown drive of sorts, and then a field goal has made it 10-0. Elam's kick, Chuck Levy from the 5-yard line back to the 20-yard line. Tackled by Steve Russ. George Stewart, the special teams coach of the 49ers, pacing the sideline, and here's tonight's the Home Depot coaches back. 7 current NFL head coaches were at one time or another assistants with the 49ers. Pete Carroll, the Patriots, Bruce Coslett, Bengals, Jeff Fisher, Oilers, Dennis Green, Vikings, Mike Holmgren, Packers, Ray Rhodes, Eagles, and Mike Shanahan, who's across the way tonight, the Denver Broncos head coach. All 7 at one time or another coaches here, assistants, and Steve Mariucci winds up getting the job after 1 year at California.
West Coast offense all over the NFL.
Terry Kirby picks up a couple. The irony is that at one point had Mike Shanahan decided to stay 3 years ago, and if Seifert had not been here this year, then Mike would have been the 49er coach.
He took a lot of it with him, and we went into 8-8 in '95, and then last year 13-3, and could very well be that again this year.
Second and 8 from the 23-yard line. Young throws. It's caught by Terrell Owens. Owens and J.J. Stokes, in the absence of Rice this season, have been able to emerge, and there is Jerry awaiting his next opportunity. But Owens really had to step up along with Stokes, and they've done that.
There's a typical West Coast pattern. About a 2-yard hook by a wide receiver in the slot. Now this is a reason the quarterbacks' throwing percentages have gone way up in this league. Steve Young,
68%.
Yeah, and that's why. That's a pretty high percentage pattern.
Rice back in the game.
3rd down and 2. Young throws off his back foot, and under pressure, Steve Atwater was blitzing, throws it out of bounds, and so it's 4th down, and the 49ers sputtering here in the first quarter.
Well, a beautifully timed blitz by Atwater right between the center and the guard. No 49er there to pick it up, and Steve Young had no choice. Yeah, it was just real. So much of a blitz is timing. Look right on the right side. There comes Atwater right between the center and the guard, and Steve Young almost got caught on his ankle there, and that's just really well timed by this 7-time Pro Bowler, Steve Atwater.
That was an out intended to Jerry Rice. He just had to throw away.
Tommy Thompson to punt. Darius Gordon. Back to receive. Good punt. Gordon backs up. Gordon fields at the 21-yard line. And under pressure from the Niners, can't escape. Tackled back at the 20-yard line as the quarter expires.
Ooh, late flag.
And a late flag has come in at the end.
This flag came in when players were already headed for their respective benches. Randy Kirk, number 57, he was right in the middle of it, and George Stewart doesn't look any too happy with his special teams linebacker.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the kicking team, number 57, 15 yards, first down.
He's the man as the quarter ends. It's the first time this season. Last week, 21-7 at Pittsburgh, and watch that evaporate. They had a 13-0 lead at Kansas City in the game they eventually lost. And tonight, up on top again as you look at Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator.
Something Mike Shanahan has preached to his team, and it's a luxury on the road to be up early. You take the crowd out of it a little bit, and yet they've squandered that. Extremely disappointing.
2nd and 8 from the 38-yard line. And that's dropped. McCaffrey covered by Norton. 3rd down. Take a look at the numbers through the first 15 minutes of play. The key play in the first quarter was a Wazeke's muffed punt. Denver was able to move in from the 6 and score. Unless the totals are anything less than impressive.
Well, certainly not much from San Francisco on the ground. Only 2 yards rushing and only 1 first down. Offensively, not much of a quarter at all for the 49ers.
3rd down and 8. Elway hangs in and then throws and adjusting on the pattern, but dropping, and it's incomplete, was Rod Smith. He was able to come back, get position. The ball was there, dropped it.
Well, Whitson was on the coverage, but John Elway bought some time in the pocket on the blitz. And as he does so well, moved around and was still be able to pick up the receiver, and Rod Smith just dropped it.
Well, again, Frank, you talked earlier documenting the drops, and that's just right on the hands of Rod Smith. A tremendous effort by John Elway, once again wasted by a Denver receiver, just plain dropping the football.
On the subject of drops, since Owezeke dropped the punt, Rod Woodson goes back to field this punt.
He used to do a lot of this early in his career at Pittsburgh, and very successful.
Denver kicker is Tom Ruin. Woodson from the 16. There's a flag thrown, and he brings it back to the 26-yard line. And Carswell gets into it with Buckley. That's Woodson's first punt returns as Rick Dennison barks, the special teams coach on the sideline. Rod had not returned a punt since 1994 in Pittsburgh before he had the reconstructive knee surgery.
Well, one thing we know for sure, there was something along the lines of an illegal block in the back by the 49ers.
Illegal block in the back, above the waist, on the receiving team. Number 31, the foul occurred during the return. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And the Niners are 8-yard line. Denver leading 10-0. 49ers trying to wrap up home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. Denver trying to go to 12-3. And keep pace with Kansas City as Young throws, and it's caught by Owens, who takes it up to the 24-yard line.
Terrell Owens, who really stepped up big time this year. You mentioned it, Al, when Jerry Rice went down, averaging 15.5 yards per reception. Good athlete, big, 6'3", tough for a defender, and Crockett playing way awful under expecting the speed and first down 49ers.
Well, the motion of the 49ers rotated the secondary of the Denver Broncos to the other side of the field, really leaving Crockett alone.
That's San Francisco's second first down. Young throws it out, and it is knocked down by Darius Johnson. Intended for J.J. Stokes. Dangerous pass, second down.
Stokes is the other receiver for the 49ers that has stepped it up since the loss of Jerry Rice in that first game. He's big, too. He's 6'4". Good coverage here by Johnson. He really just a little late getting the ball there. Unusual for him.
Young hands the ball to Floyd. Breaks the tackle in the backfield, and William, nicknamed Bar None, as in best fullback in the league, Bar None, picks up 5. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. Sprint, we make your life simple with flat rate pricing for long distance paging and internet. And Visa, the official card of the NFL that's everywhere you want to be. It's Coit Tower, fabled San Francisco landmark, and in the foreground, Pier 39, not far from Fisherman's Wharf. Back into 3Com Park we come, 3rd down and 7 at the 27-yard line. Young guns it over the middle to Brent Jones, and his longtime roommate on the road has a first down out to the 50.
Big hole in the Denver defense. Brent Jones, who can come off the line of scrimmage. Maybe not the best blocking tight end you're going to have around, but he certainly is a good receiving tight end. They often move him into the slot, as they did here. Big hole. Steve Atwater, number 27 there on the stop. Well, Brent Jones, he's got a great burst. away from a defender. You saw it there.
From the 49-yard line, 1st and 10, San Francisco. Young flares one out to Floyd. Into Bronco territory to the 47-yard line, tackled by Gordon. Garrison Hurst, who came over this year, and look at the spark he's provided, a 1,000-yard season, but a broken collarbone, and they hope he's back for that January 3rd or 4th playoff game.
And the 49ers this year actually are running the football more than they are passing the football, but that is because of Garrison Hurst being healthy. I think it's apparent tonight that against this Denver Bronco team, they're throwing the football much more than they would like to. It's been almost all Steve Young to this point.
2nd down and 6, and now it is Kirby inside the 45, a couple of yards short of the first, tackled by Romanowski. 3rd and short.
I mean, they're going to try to get what they can get out of Kirby. They're going to try to get maybe 10 or so out of William Floyd. But the loss of Garrison Hurst has really affected the way Steve Mariucci, their head coach, calls a football game. He'd like to bang it in there with Hurst 25 times a game.
Kirby very versatile. He's a good running back. He's just not the power runner that Hurst is. Good receiver out of the backfield. Jerry Rice back in the game.
3rd and a short 3. Flags, whistles, no play.
Good hard count by Steve Young. And defensively, Neil Smith is pointing a finger at the 49ers. A little edgy out there tonight. A lot at stake here tonight.
This was a 3rd and 3.
Well, Steve gave it a heck of a hard count. Even from our vantage point clear up here, you could see his entire body give a tremor when he barked out.
Almost went offside myself.
Yeah, we both flinched. It was a good one.
Don't say tremor around here.
Not where we're sitting. Watch the head bob, though.
Well, you could just see right there. As a matter of fact, Steve wasn't even expecting the ball. Chris Dahlman, the center.
Ball start, offense, the left tackle, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Well, Derek Deese gets flagged for a penalty.
It's really Chris Dahlman, wouldn't you say, though, Dan?
Well, the center can't be offsides. He can snap it whenever he wants. They thought that Derek Deese gave some kind of a flinch. Let's see if we can see a little bit.
I think Steve was expecting the ball and just didn't get it.
Derek Deese never moved. Derek Deese never moved at all. That's 49ers kind of got waxed a little bit on that one.
Phantom call.
Yeah.
Blitz. 3rd down and 8. It is caught inbounds by Rice. Jerry Rice. What surgery?
A diving catch.
Well, keep in mind, it's his left knee that was surgically repaired, and on this pattern, breaking to the left sideline, he's got to plant. Let's take a look at it. He's going to have to plant on the left knee right there. Now, he doesn't plant on it hard, but he does it just enough to make a cut to the outside. Frank, I just can't watch this, and I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Well, I know you've had yours cut on several times, and I haven't, but I've been around it so much in my life. He's wearing a brace, and I think it's bothering him.
1st down from the 39-yard line, and it is Kirby going nowhere. Taken down by Neil Smith. Jerry Rice, 2 catches tonight. If he scores a touchdown tonight, among all of the other things that would surround something like that, it would give him an even 1,000 points for his career.
I think what Jerry Rice and Steve Mariucci would really like is to walk up the tunnel together with Jerry Rice being healthy.
Absolutely.
And forget about Seattle next week and start thinking about the bye week. And
2nd and 11. Young nice on the time and then throws and puts it in there perfectly for William Floyd, who pulls it in at the 28-yard line and moves the sticks. 1st down.
What a catch on the part of Floyd, who came up in '94 as a 1st-round draft pick, had that horrendous knee injury in '95, but he was a real surprise to the 49ers of what a good receiver he was.
Nice pass rush by the Broncos, huh?
Watch him go down. Concentrate on this football. Diving catch, scoops it up. Good effort.
First down to the 28. Young throwing, and that is caught by J.J. Stokes as the 49ers are on the move to the 18-yard line, and that's close to a first down.
Steve Young actually directing traffic.
Well, and when
Stokes moving to the inside, Young didn't like that. Kind of watch him break to the inside here. Now Young said, no, move over here.
And so typical of the 49ers, when they are in their offensive rhythm, everybody gets to touch the football, and they get to touch it all over the football field. Whether it's Brent Jones, split as a wide receiver, Stokes, Owens, Kirby, everybody participates in a 49er drive when they're hot.
From the 18, it's Williams, unabated.
Yeah, that's...
Williams is saying Deese pulled him off.
Well, why not? They got it one time before when Deese did move. Go to the well and try it again. Now, Deese this time might have flinched a little bit.
Offside defense.
Nope.
91. Unabated to the quarterback.
Now,
5 yards, still first down.
the amazing thing here is Deese might have flinched a little bit.
It's like hockey.
Evened out.
It's like hockey. You call the wrong penalty, you got to even things out, right?
What a great story this offensive line of the 49ers is, though. At the beginning of the season, they didn't know what they were going to use. And they lined up different, an offensive line almost different in every game during preseason. They finally settled down about the third week into the season.
1st and 5 from the 13, and they give it to Kirby, and he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Keith Traylor, the first guy to hit him. This drive began at the 49er 8-yard line. Just a minute into the second quarter, and now we're halfway through the quarter, and the Niners have marched all the way down to the 14. Numbers on this drive.
49ers, William Floyd is being looked at on the bench by the trainers.
2nd down and 6. Rice in motion. And Young throws, and it is caught by Jerry.
He is being mobbed. What a story.
That's 1,000 points.
It's only the second quarter, too, Al. He came to play. Taking the ball with him. Good move against Darian Gordon. Holds on to it, takes a shot from Atwater. Did it all right there.
Well, the one thing that's apparent, nobody operated on Jerry's hands. They're just fine.
Extra point, good by Anderson. He's the only man in the history of the league to score 1,000 points with none of them from his foot. The only non-kicker to do it. Can you believe it? 10-7. The Rice reception is 10-7, and the kick is taken at the 4. Hebron falls down, flips again, and it turns out to be a perfect kickoff, and somebody does a full somersault. Walker, Bronson is there, and others. But the moment belongs to Rice. Denver's lead is now 3. Provides this shot tonight in San Francisco. Next week, the Dolphins and the Patriots. Here, 10-7. Denver leads it. Broncos have it. They begin this drive from the 13 on first down. Elway pressures. Throws it away. 2nd down and 10. Lee Woodall came blitzing in.
Yeah, Gary Plummer came in as well, and boy, they really clogged the middle. And when John Elway is forced to give ground, of course, like any quarterback, when he can run parallel to the line of scrimmage, he's got a chance of doing something really dangerous. When you come from the middle and force him backwards, John having to give way too much ground, smartly just gets rid of it. Nobody close for the 49ers to make a play. On 2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line.
McCaffrey makes the catch. Greeted immediately by Rod Woodson at the 18-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
McCaffrey is the kind of receiver that Woodson likes to go up against. Woodson is a gambling cornerback, and where he probably doesn't have the speed that he had when he came up. He's pretty quick. But McCaffrey he just got a lot of moves, but Woodson doesn't pay a whole lot of attention to any of them. He just plays it very tight, very close, will gamble a lot. He's right there.
And it's a pattern that's really dependent upon the defender missing the tackle to pick up a first down.
3rd and 5. Elway from the gun. Good coverage, except the coverage is illegal. Tyrone Drakeford had his arms wrapped around Willie Green.
Willie Green, of course, came from Carolina as a free agent.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 22. That's an automatic first down.
Well, Drakeford, first of all, it's like he knows this pattern is coming. Talk about sitting on a pattern. He played it well. He sure did. He's all over this thing.
He's right there. Boy, that's
the
pretty good
official
defensive play.
From behind throws the flag, so he's throwing it based on Drakeford's left hand and left arm.
Which may have grabbed the jersey.
Yeah, that's the only thing he's able to see from behind.
Now Elway on first down tries to capitalize. We've got flags again. Smith makes the catch.
Now, we talked about Woodson playing it very tight, gambling. That time he came up against Rod Smith, and no question he was holding. Smith.
Holding. Defense. 26. 5 yards and an automatic first down.
Woodson was playing that for a 5-yard stop, and Smith gave him a little motion like he was going to do that, and then broke to the outside. Woodson had no choice.
The reality of it is, on a first down play, it's only a 5-yard penalty. It's still first down. It moves the chains, but it's only a 5-yard penalty if Rod Woodson doesn't hold him after misjudging the play to the inside. You're right. It might have been a touchdown. In the grand scheme of things, not that big a deal for the 49ers.
Well, he's a gambler on the corner, and a good gambler.
5:48 to the half. Bronx up by 3. First down from the 33, and Elway directing traffic. Launches one for Smith, and it is out of bounds. Merton Hanks is there, one-on-one with him.
No question, he was out of bounds, but Elway again directing traffic, trying to get Rod Smith to turn upfield, and he did, and Elway put it up there, just gambled that he could take it away from Hanks, but he comes down out of bounds. There's the battle on the sidelines. The first foot coming down out of bounds.
Nice job by Rod Smith going up for that football. He really out-battles Hanks for the ball. That was a superb effort on his part. And the field would have been a foot wider. He'd had something.
Elway's got a lot of confidence in Smith.
2nd and 10. Go back to Davis, and Davis takes the ball to the 36-yard line. He's tackled there by Bryant Young. Again, the situation is this. If the 49ers win tonight, home field throughout the NFC. What would that mean? It means if Green Bay faces the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, it's here. If they don't win tonight, they could win it next week. There's a quarterback comparison tonight. Young with 161 in the touchdown. Elway, 5 of 13 for 28 as Steve loosens up. Broncos, meanwhile, just trying to keep pace with Kansas City. They lose the tiebreaker, but at least they'd wind up as the number 4 seed. And the catch is made by Sharp at the 50-yard line, and he takes it to the 49er 42, tackled by McDonald in a first down for Denver.
What a great read between Elway and Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp has been quiet in the first quarter and into the second quarter, but that time no coverage at all. Hanks creeped up to the line of scrimmage. Elway read it. Sharp read it. Now watch, that's 46, Tim McDonald coming up. He sees he made a mistake. I got to be covering the tight end. He blows it. Elway and Sharp both read it.
On that blitz switch off, McDonald has to come out and take Shannon Sharp, and that is just a major mental error, allowing a guy of that receiving capabilities to run free.
From the 42 on first down, Elway launches it, and it is Willie Green out of bounds.
Ooh, how close was that?
Well, they're discussing it now, two officials, and they both seem to agree on it.
How close is this? That's a call that I don't want to have to make.
Got an official on either side of it. They make this at top speed, and we can look at it in slow motion. He must come down with both inbounds.
And from that angle, looks like a mighty good call.
Yes.
The left heel looks like it lands out of bounds when you look at it from that angle.
How would you like to call that?
Now,
where the heel comes in.
One in, the right's in. The left heel it lands out of bounds. That's a heck of a call.
Elway, 2nd and 10. Davis makes the catch, but he's going nowhere. Lee Woodall wrestles him to the turf for a loss of 1. Under 4 minutes to go, and this crowd getting ready for the electricity at halftime. Joe Montana to have his jersey, number 16, retired.
San Francisco's defense settling down a little bit, taking the Denver Broncos out of what they would like to do, and that is to get 5, 6, 7 yards on first down with Terrell Davis running the football. They've taken that away from them and forcing them into a passing game. Broncos didn't want to go there.
3rd down and 11. Elway deep, and it's picked off at the 25-yard line. Marquez Pope flagged down, and Pope brings it back to midfield. Marker down back at the 28.
Pope doesn't realize that the flag is down back where the interception took place.
Better hope it's on the return.
It could have been offensive interference, too.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 23. Automatic. First down.
No pick. No run back. First down, Denver.
I think Willie Green is the receiver to that side of the field. He's going to run a post pattern. Going to go down about 10 yards. Break it right there in the upper right hand. There's the contact. Yeah, Pope just reaches out with his right arm and shoves Willie Green away. You just can't hold your ground and push a guy off like that. Boy, we have, is that 3? Well, we have 2 interferences and a defensive holding on this one drive against the 49ers.
3 first downs via penalty. From the 29-yard line, Hebron. One-time Eagle to the 26-yard line. Tim McDonald with the tackle.
Looked like a change at the line of scrimmage by John. It looked like everyone was not in sync with him.
2nd down and 8 now. Denver on the move. 2:45 to go in the opening half.
Kevin Green now playing defensive end for the 49ers. They try to put him to the open side of the field. He plays in a 2-point stance. In other words, he stands up.
Elway rolling, throwing, and it is juggled and incomplete. Ed McCaffrey and Rod Woodson.
Hebron and Griffith are in this game for the Broncos because they're looking at Terrell Davis on the bench.
Oh, and Gary Plummer and John Elway in a little jawing match.
And that's a serious problem for Denver as Terrell Davis gets a look-see from the trainers.
Well, that's a risky throw by John because Woodson sitting all over McCaffrey.
Oh, and well played, too. No left hand on the back.
Yeah.
Nothing to draw a flag.
But when John made the decision to throw, he's standing right next to McCaffrey.
We wondered why Hebron was in there with Griffith, but Terrell Davis on the bench.
And Elway takes a timeout with a 3rd down and 8 upcoming. 3rd and 8. The line of scrimmage is at 26. They work on Davis. Denver leads by 3. You can pick it up at abcmnf.com. That's the address. Denver has it. Big play coming up here. 3rd down and 8. 27-yard line. Davis out of the game. Elway working out of the shotgun. 2:20. Niners come on a blitz. Elway launches it for Green, and he's covered by Pope, and it's 4th down.
Hope
So
with
John
inside,
Premises.
Hope with inside help from Bronson. They had him blanketed. Elway just basically throwing that away.
And Elam comes on for a field goal attempt of roughly 44 yards.
As the outside coverage by Pope. Watched 31 come from the inside. Elway saw it. Just threw it out of the end zone.
Tom Ruin to hold it. And Elam's kick is no good. Wide to the left. Started out down the middle. Threw off to the left. And the Broncos come up empty with 2:10 to the half. As the director of the 49ers has Steve Young on first down. Looks one way, throws. Jones makes the catch and the flag goes down. Get the call in a moment. But Eddie resigned as the chairman and director of the Niners because he wanted to distance the team as much as possible from an investigation by a federal grand jury in Louisiana into his involvement in an application for a riverboat gaming license. His sister is now assuming the roles that he had. Denise
Prior
York
to the pass, holding, defense number 53. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
First down for San Francisco. Bill Walsh will also be a part of the halftime ceremony. So a lot going on at the half.
Bill Romanowski all over Brent Jones as he tries to come off the line of scrimmage. Breaks to the outside, gets the completion, and also gets the pass interference call.
Boy, I hate to hold a guy that bad and still have him go downfield to catch the pass.
You're not doing your job. Wow. At least effectively. You're going to hold.
2-minute warning in San Francisco. Ceremony. What a scene this will be from San Francisco. First down, Niners at the Denver 49. 2 minutes to go in the half. Young throws, caught by Jones, and Brent to the 25-yard line. Young and Jones. They call themselves Klugman. The odd couple.
And they are. He's a lot of fun. But meanwhile, Denver is just turning Jones loose on the inside.
Which one's Matt, though? Which one's Klugman here?
Well, this has got to be Klugman.
First down, 49ers. First down. They're down by 3. Young buys time, guns it over the middle and behind Brent Jones that time. John Mobley came blitzing through and leveled Young.
Young would have had a fraction more. Once again, Brent Jones was wide open. They're just letting him roam across the middle. They pick him up on the outside, but when they go into double coverage on the outside, he's wide open. A good look at Terry Kirby, also open, but you could see Brent Jones wide open inside the 5-yard line, but the pressure from Mobley didn't allow Steve Young the time.
Second and 10. Young has already thrown for 201 yards. Kirby takes it down to the 13-yard line on a 49 first down.
Ooh, he does it all. He gets the first down, stops the clock. We talked about his ability out of the backfield as a receiver. And Jerry Rice had a rumor that his knee was a little problem for him, but the doctors told him to forget about it.
Timeout 49ers, 1 left. Tonight, Jerry Rice, 15 weeks after surgery, huge ovation before the game, and they got him right into the thick of things early on. He makes this catch, his first catch since opening day, follows this one with a diving catch near the sideline, and then voila, into the end zone. 1,000 points in that stellar career. 3 catches tonight, 40 yards. Jerry Rice.
I'd hate to be Darian Gordon after what happened to him with Yancey Thigpen last week, and everyone all focused on Jerry Rice, and it's Darian Gordon in the coverage again. Boy, when you get in the barrel, you get in the barrel, don't you?
It's hard to get out. Not many secrets in this league, are there?
First down from the 13-yard line. Young escapes the sack inside the 10, slides to a halt at the 5-yard line, a gain of 8. And Steve wants to conserve the timeout.
Calling for the huddle. There was a time when Steve Young would have tried for the end zone. This is a much wiser Steve Young.
He would have tried to go right over the top of somebody, through somebody. You're right. And that's a Steve Young that Steve Mariucci, his coach, is very happy to see.
2nd and 3. At the 6-yard line. Inside handoff. They give it to Kirby. And Kirby just shy of the first down. Romanowski makes the stop. 1st and goal inside the 1.
And there's plenty of time for the 49ers. No need to take a timeout now.
Yep, they can play the double game here. Get it in and take all the time off, so Denver has none.
Great trap block there for Kirby. Huge opening by the 49ers.
Traylor comes out of the game. He limps off. Lotus replaces him. From inside the 1, Kirby knifes his way in for the touchdown.
William Floyd with the lead block. Going behind huge Kevin Gogan, 330 pounds at right guard. Dahlman at center. Strafford to right tackle. A well-executed play on the goal line. There's nothing fancy about this. Here we come. Try to stop it. Denver could.
By Gary Anderson, and the 49ers have erased a 10-point deficit. Kirby and Floyd and Rice and company and Neil Smith and his club watching another road lead evaporate, as it did in Kansas City, as it did last week in Pittsburgh.
A team known for finesse. No finesse here. One of the oldest plays in the game. A 49er touchdown. And Steve Young all over it on this drive, the way he executed and moved his ball club down for the score. Tyrone Braxton up into the air, but doesn't have enough going for him to repel Kirby.
Good news for the 49ers, though, offensively. Garrison Hurst out of at least until the first round of the playoffs. Not sure he'll even come back there. Jerry Rice has already scored his touchdown tonight. Probably will not come back into the game. But Terry Kirby with a pretty good show tonight. Good receiver. We know that out of the backfield, but also running hard tonight.
Well, if the 49ers secure home field advantage, Jerry Rice doesn't have to play a football game for 20 days. He will not play next week in Seattle because it's on an artificial surface.
And this surface is very knee-friendly.
So
There
that's
is such a surface.
a big 3 weeks for Jerry Rice. When you look at where he is now, how much better that knee will be if he comes out of this thing unscathed.
Tommy Thompson to kick off. The Broncos have not returned a kickoff for a touchdown in 25 years. As Vaughn Hebron brings it back to the 26-yard line. So 14 ticks left for Elway. Joe Montana, the retirement ceremony coming up at halftime tonight. We'll have a chance to take a retrospective look at the career of Joe, and then they will bring down the house in San Francisco. And the only people unhappy about it, the concessionaires, because not too many people figure to leave their seats at halftime tonight.
Well, leaving mine.
First down from the 26-yard line. Little swing out to Hebron. He goes nowhere. Stubblefield makes the tackle. And this is the way the first half will end. So the Broncos led 10-0, but they leave the field down by 4. We've reached the half. And the San Francisco 49ers lead the Denver Broncos 14-10. And they're just warming up for the main event. Joe Montana at halftime. We'll return after this message from the National Football League and a word from our ABC stations. Third-round draft choice selected Joe Montana of Notre Dame. Weeks earlier, Bill Walsh had been brought in from Stanford to bring respectability back to a fallen franchise. By the end of an incredible third season, coach and quarterback would be the men most responsible for an improbable Super Bowl championship.
14 days earlier in the NFC title game against the Cowboys, Montana, the coolest man on the field, hit Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone to propel the 49ers to a decade of dominance. 3 years later, another Lombardi trophy would be hoisted, and Joe would cap a season in which the 49ers won 18 of 19 games with a near flawless performance in a rout of the Dolphins. Then in 1986, an already spectacular career appeared to come to a depressingly premature end. Back surgery was going to write a finish to Montana's playing days and sink the spirits of the 49er faithful. Stunningly, before that season ended, Joe made a miraculous comeback, and the glory days would soon return. In 1988, the 49ers won another NFC title, and in the Super Bowl in Miami, Montana entered the huddle with his team trailing the Bengals 16-13 with 3:10 remaining. It was the type of situation he lived for. Coolly, confidently, and methodically, Joe Montana led the 49ers to the end zone as if there was never a doubt. Lombardi Trophy number 3. George Seifert became the coach in 1989, but the transition was nearly seamless because number 16 was still there. And as the decade of the 80s concluded, Joe Montana would lift the 4th Super Bowl trophy. Injuries had Joe in and out of the lineup in the 90s, and then it was on to Kansas City, where more magic moments wrote an end to one of the great careers of all time. In our mind's eye, we can see Joe Montana in any number of glorious scenes, but they all seem to reflect his essence as a football player. He was always in control. He had uncommon grace. There was an easy elegance. He was a master surveyor who always found the mark. In 2 years, he'll go to the Hall of Fame. But the waiting period to retire his number 16 ends tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, throughout Joe Montana's career, the managing owner of the San Francisco 49ers for 20 seasons, Eddie DeBartolo.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Starting in 1979, this was a mystical time for the San Francisco 49ers. Joe Montana came on the scene as Sir Lancelot came into Camelot. In behalf of the greatest fans in the NFL, in behalf of the greatest city in the world, this man has etched his place in NFL history as the greatest quarterback that has ever played the game. And now, my dear friend, it's taken me 19 years that I've been waiting to do this. We are retiring number 16 forever with our grateful gratitude to Joe for what he did for all of us. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would just like to start off by saying that I'm very honored to be standing here tonight. Back in 1979, when I first stepped onto this field, I never imagined I would be in this position tonight having my number retired.
When I look back on all those years, I think we all should feel a little gratitude. I know I do, to an individual who I believe is probably one of the greatest men, caring, giving, that I've ever come across in my life. I would like to say, personally say, it was an honor playing on his team. And on behalf of my wife and kids and myself, we love you, Eddie, and thank you. I also have to thank another gentleman up here tonight who I feel was just a bigger part of making this turnaround in this organization, not only in helping my career and my success in the NFL, but also making this team what it is shaping up to be even today. And that's Bill Walsh. I thank him for having that faith in that little skinny-legged kid back there in 1979. I also want to say thank you to two people very special to me, my mother and father, for all the sacrifices they went to enable me to do the things that I needed to do to get here. I want to thank my wife and children for being patient with the crazy schedule of the professional athlete, because she was always there for all the support whenever I needed it, and those little back rubs on Monday morning. I also want to say thank you to a bunch of guys, and there are none of them up here, because if I tried to get them all up here, it would have taken us forever to assemble all my teammates over the years, because without them, I certainly would not be here. I thank them, and I thank, as Eddie alluded to earlier, probably the greatest fans anywhere in the greatest city anywhere. Thank you for your support.
People, many with moist eyes, saying thanks for the memories to a man who will never be any ordinary Joe. Joe Montana, number 16, retired forever.
He's going to the San Francisco 49ers, and of course the questionable status of Terrell Davis. You know, Denver would like to get back to really pounding the football. Davis not in the lineup for the Broncos as they start half number 2.
Vaughn Hebron's the running back, and they go to the air, and Ron Smith escapes Pope, comes close to a first down, and very emotional at the half. And Joe looks like he could still play, in great shape. Looks terrific.
Well, you know, he's such an awful-looking guy. It must be terrible to have to go through life with those baby blues. But when you look at how many franchises in this league have never tasted success, you realize that the 49ers Cup runneth over when it comes to great football players and the wonderful victories they've had here. Very, very lucky.
82nd man picked in the draft, and as Hebron seeks the first down and gets it, you keep thinking back to Bartolo bought the team in '77. They had 2 horrible years, and Walsh comes in and he picks Montana. And, you know, since that day, this team has not only won 5 Super Bowls, they've been in contention every season.
You know, when you think back, and I think back over the many years of covering Joe and watching him play, he's one of those players that could do everything so easy. And then at the end of the game, you'd look at it, hit thrown for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he just was not impressive. He didn't do it in a quick way. He just did it so easy and so gracefully.
Blitz is picked up. Elway retreats. And the catch is made by Sharp across the 50-yard line of the 48, and that's close to a first down. Merton Hanks makes the stop.
I guess if you wanted to just summarize the 49ers and what has happened since Ed DeBartolo bought this club, I guess you could simply say they have written the book on how to do it. The most copied team in the National Football League, the most copied organization in football. Everyone has taken some of the ideas that the 49ers started and tried to implement them into their own system.
And you just saw part of it, Shannon Sharp coming across. That's 49er offense taken to the Denver Broncos by Mike Shanahan.
A little short of the first. And Eddie's, we've talked about it, and it's been well documented recently, the prospective troubles for Eddie DeBartolo. But let's not forget that scene tonight when Eddie DeBartolo gets introduced, and he had to wait to introduce Joe because 60,000 people are chanting Eddie, Eddie. That's what the chant was.
I wonder if you trotted the other 29 owners out around the National Football League, what would happen? It'd be a little risky.
Well, I know a few that there would be a chant go up.
Oh, yes, it would be.
But it wouldn't necessarily be their name.
Yep. And you'd only be able to hear it on cable. Terrell Davis with a bruised right shoulder, and Hebron gets knocked back by Ron Woodson shy of the first down.
Woodson made that play. He was out, lined up over the wide receiver. He read the formation, read the play. That's come from a lot of looking at tape. And gambled, as we talked about it earlier. He took the shot, and he held them short of the first down, coming from way off. Here he comes, number 26. Coming in behind and has enough strength.
No, I'm not sure Terrell Davis would have gotten anywhere on that play, but this is a major blow for the Denver Broncos. That Terrell Davis will not play in the rest of this football game.
He is done for the night. Hebron is the back, and Derek Lavelle is Hebron's backup, and Vaughn inside the 45, and Vaughn Hebron out of the wings to the 3-yard line.
Boy, I set that up nicely, didn't I?
Yes.
So when Mike Shanahan was talking about him last night, he said he is a football player. He's got a lot of quickness. We want to get him in there. We want to work him. But what can you do with a Terrell Davis? And Von Hebron makes the big play for Denver right there.
Well, and the 49ers certainly were obliging with absolutely no backside pursuit whatsoever. When Von Hebron cuts back, there is nobody in a red jersey. Very, very smart play by Hebron, but a mistake by the 49ers on the backside. Drakeford saves a touchdown.
And also gets a little bit of the face mask.
46-yard gain by Hebron. And Elway lofting one for Rod Smith. He is out of bounds. 3 times tonight, Bronco receivers have come down with a football, but on the chalk.
Well, we thought they had that one. He loves this to McCaffrey and also to Shannon Sharp. He comes down with 1 foot, though.
Take
a look at it again.
Positioning by the official.
There's one, and the left one does not get down.
That's the way it's supposed to be done by the side judge.
Got some good calls tonight.
On 2nd and goal. Hebron and Vaughn gets inside the 1, but no farther. 3rd down and goal.
Right now, the 49ers are going to have to adjust to the way they're going to attack the running back. Terrell Davis, not a real shifty guy. His style of running is power. He'll take you on, try to go over you. Certainly with Von Hebron, that's going to change. He's going to cut. He's going to change directions. He may even do it behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and goal from the eye. Hebron didn't get it.
Good tackle by the rookie, Bronson. Zach Bronson. Came from the corner. Made a clean tackle.
Mike Shanahan, his field goal unit started to gingerly move out there.
Look at 31. Closing down right there. Gets help from the inside. But the Broncos will go.
From the 1. On 4th down. Hebron. And this time, he's got it. Vaughn Hebron into the end zone on 4th down. Set up by a 46-yard run.
Boy, what a lift that is, too, to get that, punch that into the end zone, take the lead. This gives your entire team with your superstar Pro Bowl running back on the bench it gives your entire team a lift, that you can punch it in when you have to. Over the left side, he has Infante and Gary Zimmerman over there with just good surges.
Mile high salute.
Vaughn hasn't had a chance to do a lot of that this year. I think that's his first rushing touchdown of the season.
It is the first touchdown he has scored in 3 years. Not since '94 as an Eagle as he got into the end zone. Denver by 3. Coming off the bench, and he'll have to be the guy out of the backfield the rest of the night. Terrell Davis finished for the night, and his chances at a rushing title probably finished as well, as the kickoff is taken by Chuck Levy, and he'll bring it back to the 35-yard line. Update time. Lynn Swan. Lynn.
Well, I spoke to Jerry Rice, and he came onto the sideline and put an ice pack on his bad knee. He bruised that knee when he made the touchdown catch. He said they drove him right into the ground on that knee, but structurally it's fine. It's no more swollen than it has been after practice during each day of the week. Mariucci said he is probably not coming back into this ball game, but he feels comfortable because the 49ers scored that touchdown at the end of the first half without Jerry Rice in the ball game. Al?
So he got him back into it at 10-7. Then they moved ahead as Kirby goes nowhere. You can't ask for a better night for Jerry under the circumstances. And Mariucci was telling us yesterday he hasn't slept because of Jerry Rice. And we said, exactly why have you not slept this week? And he said, because I keep thinking about him getting re-injured.
Well, just take a look at that touchdown catch, and we could see how Jerry bounced off that left knee. Just imagine if that would have happened on an artificial surface. Jerry Rice would be more than just having an ice pack on it. He'd be limping badly. That's why he's only going to play early on a grass field.
Won't be playing next week in Seattle. And Young to the 40. And Bill Romanowski, his ex-teammate, comes in and draws the flag.
It was late coming, but Romanowski, as you said, the former 49er, got in there after Steve had applied the hook slide, and I'll say it once again, this is the new Steve Young. I think it was the shot to the head that made the,
well,
it got the call, and
it's Romanowski's head. Romanowski tries to land on him with his helmet. Just not going to be tolerated going in and landing on somebody with your helmet being the primary source of. Watch him come in here. Watch his helmet. Watch what he does with his hat. Right there. That little dip with his hat and hitting Steve Young with his helmet is what got Romanowski in trouble.
Romanowski was in trouble in preseason. He broke Kerry Collins' jaw and was fined several $1,000s as Chuck Levy picks up a couple to the 43-yard line.
Several thousand. I think it was 20 or 30,000. Right. It was a whole bunch of money.
And put Collins out for the rest of preseason. And in fact, Kerry was never in rhythm all year long.
No. Not to imply that Bill Romanowski is some sort of a cheap shot artist, because he's really not. He's just a guy that plays the game really hard. But that will get penalized time in, time out when you land on somebody with your helmet being the primary point of attack. And Ray Brown, you see, heads to the 49er sideline, their left guard.
And Jesse Sapolo comes in, and on second down, over the middle, Young hits J.J. Stokes for a first down to the 31-yard line.
49ers have all kinds of firsts. Jesse Sapolo, the only one I know of playing in this game, is having had heart surgery. There he is. Now in his 15th year, he was not going to come back. They kind of talked him into it, and he's filling in right now for Ray Brown. But what a fine shot and good concentration.
Well, you lose a whole lot of beef and a whole lot of muscle at left guard when Sapolo replaces Brown. And there's a good look at Harris Barton, a fixture at tackle for so many years here with the 49ers.
He's on injured reserve now, and the pass is incomplete, intended for William Floyd.
Harris and I were talking before the game, and he told me that he's had surgery on that knee, and he fully intends to come back next year and play for this San Francisco ball club. And
we talked about it earlier, Dan. We out to Richard Stedman, to Dr. Stedman out in Vail, a very famed orthopedic surgeon, and he said it's come along fine. He intends to continue his career. He gets that off in a couple of weeks, and he'll start his rehab and plans to be back. And that's good news. There's good people.
Second down and 10 from the 31. line.
Great effort by Stokes.
Yeah, this flag's back at the pocket. And they're going to have roughing the passer, I think, called against Denver.
Little late pop against...
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, number 91. Helmet-to-helmet contact. Half the distance, first down.
Alfred Williams, and we said it earlier, they just won't tolerate the helmet on the helmet. Or leading with your helmet. And that was also just a little late.
Alfred Williams coming in there, gets a good move. And there, again, it's nothing big. That hardly hurt Steve Young. It's the action of that dip and then the striking him with a hat. But that is just about as soft of a roughing the passer as you'll ever see.
On 1st and 10, it is Floyd for a couple to the 9-yard line, 2nd down and 8.
Here's play before. That's J.J. Stokes, I think, talking to Bill Romanowski. Ooh, and there is a real lack of social graces on the part of Romanowski.
In any country.
Whoa.
2nd down and 8 from the 9. And it's incomplete, intended for Owens. Ray Crockett in the middle of the action.
Ray Crockett right in the middle of it, throwing his body in there. He's having a terrific year.
Well, so far, Romanowski's had a holding call, a personal foul for hitting Steve Young, and a real breach of etiquette. A real breach of etiquette. That's an unflagged breach of etiquette, but a real loss of personal hygiene.
No penalties for expectoration. Huh? 3rd down and 8 from the 9. Young throws a wobbly pass that may have been tipped, intended for Stokes, and drops incomplete. Darian Gordon on the coverage.
John Mobley coming in right in Young's face. He had to deliver that a little more quickly than he wanted to. John Mobley with a heck of a year. You wonder why. Well, sometimes you wonder about Pro Bowl voting period, but John Mobley certainly had a Pro Bowl year.
By far and away the leading tackler of the Denver Broncos. And you're right, Frank. It wouldn't have been. It's a surprise that he didn't go to the Pro Bowl.
Oh, I got it.
There's a whistle. There is no kick.
A year after you don't deserve it anymore.
Right. Occasionally you'll retire and get elected.
Well, I'll guarantee you some retire. Montana probably got a vote or two this year. Much publicized story in Denver. Ray Crockett upset with the way that some of their guys filled out a Pro Bowl ballot.
This is a 32-yarder for Gary Anderson to try to tie the game, and he does. And it's the 33rd he's kicked in his career on Monday Night Football, tying Mark Mosley in that department. 381 in his career, too shy of Nick Lowry's record. Cameron, who will do everything now, feature back, run back man, brings it back to the 24-yard line. Elway coming out with the offense at 48 left in the 3rd. A good one in the Bay Area. Time from the 24-yard line with the game tied. John Elway on 1st down. Good protection. Guns it over the middle. It is caught by Rod Smith, his favorite target. 1st down up at the 41-yard line.
Elway going down again. Staying in there until his receiver breaks open, but he knew he was going to get the shot, and he did.
When the 49ers coming with a blitz, and the Broncos effectively picking it up. Six 49ers coming on the pattern, and even though John takes a hit, his guys formed enough of a pocket in front of him. He got a good look downfield and made the completion. If they continue to pick up the 49er blitz like that, that's going to be a problem for their secondary.
Juan Everett with a nice block there to pick it up, and that is picked off by Merton Hanks. And Merton Hanks down the sideline, cuts it back upfield into the end zone.
The 6th interception of the game. That was another blitz by the 49ers.
And John had to rush it.
And John had to throw that, did not even see Hanks. Hanks absolutely free, just looking into the eyes of Elway. Steps in front of it, and he's gone.
55-yard run back for Merton Hanks.
You just have to think that Elway thought his receiver was going to break it off, and that would be McCaffrey. He didn't, and Hanks came from center field and took it all the way in.
Ed McCaffrey ran a pattern of a receiver that didn't even know there was a blitz going on. Elway certainly expected McCaffrey to break off his pattern. He did not, and Merton Hanks was the beneficiary.
Career touchdown number 5 and his own salute. Broncos, the interception by Hanks has given San Francisco a 7-point lead, and Derek Lavelle, the former 49er, will run this kickback from the 8-yard line.
Whoa, fumble!
Lost the football, but Denver apparently has recovered as Zach Bronson created it.
I think Veland covered it up, didn't he?
Tony Veland. And the Broncos flirting with a little bit of disaster here. In terms of he loses the football, but Veland covers up. If they lose tonight, not only do the 49ers clinch home field throughout the NFC playoffs, but a Denver loss means Kansas City clinches home field throughout the AFC playoffs. Pat Bowlen, the Bronco owner, looking on.
I think Lamar Hunt is looking on as well.
Very much so, from the 25-yard line. Hebron for a 3-yard pickup up to the 28-yard line. Time now for our Monday Night Football fact presented by Prudential. Who is the only player in history to catch touchdown passes from Joe Montana, Steve Young, and John Elway? And the answer is...
It's not easy.
Mike Sherrard.
Started with Dallas, didn't he?
He did. 49er and Bronco and Cowboy and Giant, former UCLA star, whose career was limited somewhat by 2 major leg injuries. Elway throws off balance, and that's incomplete.
Yeah, that's three straight blitzes now by the 49ers against Elway. And they're getting into his space.
Well, the first
McCaffrey didn't sync up on the last one, and it cost them 6 points. It's been very disruptive.
Third down 7.
Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, and John Elway's backup for several years, and came with Mike Shanahan from the 49ers. Another 49er connection. Blitz again.
Flag is thrown as no play. Whistle before the snap. No play.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 77, 5 yards, still third down.
Tony Jones.
Well, all that movement can be very disruptive. You're seeing out of the corner of your eye the movement of the cornerback or linebacker, the shuffling of the defense.
Well, and you're going on a silent snap count. Once John moves his leg right like that, the center's free to snap it any time after that.
Elway guns it deep downfield, and Rod Smith can't make the play. Woodson shaken.
Woodson shaken. Rod Smith right in between Woodson and Tim McDonald. That's not a healthy place to be.
And I think it's Woodson making contact with his own guy.
Plowed right into McDonald.
Yeah, McDonald coming over makes more contact with Woodson. Right there. Oh, you see Rod, the front of his helmet just going right into the thigh of Tim McDonald. Well, we'll get a good look at it from this angle, but watch the helmet right at the hairline. Ooh, right there as he just crushes into the right hip of Tim McDonald.
Snap that head back.
Ooh. Oh, that is really ugly.
Rod Woodson, his career in Pittsburgh good enough so that when the NFL honored the greatest players for the 75th anniversary team, Woodson was one of the defensive backs. And everybody thought he would end his career with the Steelers, but as so often happens these days, under the salary cap, not agreeing on a contract, and the 49ers have become such a, as Steve Mariucci puts it, a veteran-friendly organization, and one of the veterans they were very friendly to was Rod Woodson.
Boy, good news there that Rod is up in with his knees on the ground,
And that they're letting him do it.
right.
Had a big game against New Orleans early in the season. 3 interceptions and ran a fumble in for a touchdown. But they continue to look at Rod Woodson. There's a slight cut over his nose, but he appears to be all right.
Now Chuck Levy's going to accept this punt for the 49ers, who started the game with a Wazake. Then he muffed one. They put Woodson back there. Now Levy, who returns kickoffs, will back up the field the Tom Ruin kick. And from the 23, the fastest of the 49ers, brings the ball back to the 34-yard line, tackled by Glenn Cadrez. Penultimate week, NFL. Some NFL news. Marcus Allen, 26 career TDs against the Chargers. These news items brought to you by Budweiser. Ties the NFL record. Most TDs against any one team held by Jerry Rice, 26 against Atlanta. So Marcus right there. Colts 41-zip over the Dolphins. Most lopsided win in the history of the league, in which a team entered the game with 7 fewer wins than the opponent. Pats Dolphins next Monday night. Winner is the AFC champion. From the 34-yard line, Young guns it, caught by his main man, Brent Jones, up to the 46-yard line. Flag down.
Yeah, this flag comes sailing in from the field judge, whose responsibility it is to zero in on the tight end and his release from the line of scrimmage.
Pass interference. Offense, number 84.
Pushing
10
off.
yards, still first down.
That was Brent Jones pushing off Tyrone Braxton. But again, Jones has been roaming around in the middle of that field, almost uncovered. Watch him come off the line of scrimmage. Romanowski doesn't even give him a pop. And pushes off of number 34, Braxton. Well, many times that wouldn't have been called.
Makes it 1st and 20.
I don't know whether he'd be Oscar or Felix.
Brent Jones either going into broadcasting or politics, he says. 1st down and 20. William Floyd picks up, Terry Kirby picks up 5 to the 29-yard line.
Oftentimes they overlap.
Yeah, Brent has a lot of friends that would like to see him run for Congress.
And the Bay Bridge, spanning San Francisco Bay.
A beautiful shot.
Yep, look at that shot. Downtown San Francisco. One of the great sights in the world. 2nd down and 15. Young, that's Kirby, up to the 40-yard line. He's about 3 yards shy of the first, and he's tackled there by Crockett.
Denver with good coverage. The 49ers picked up and protected Steve Young, but he had no place to put the football.
49ers marching what they hope will be inexorably toward home field advantage in the playoffs. And the Broncos right now on the other side of a strange looking coin that was looking very shiny about a month ago, and all of a sudden it's a whole other story here on 3rd down and 4. Young, deep, wide open, making the catch is J.J. Stokes inside the 20-yard line, cutting across the field, looking for the end zone. Touchdown. And a flag down, a flag all the way back at the line of scrimmage. It's coming all the way back.
Holding against the 49ers.
And the happiest guy in this stadium is Ray Crockett, the Denver cornerback who completely lost track of J.J. Stokes.
He has not given up a touchdown this year in coverage, and he still hasn't.
That was a 60-yarder. And that evaporates on a holding call.
That we'll get eventually.
Well, I saw it. Luckett was announcing it, but it didn't go out over the stadium PA, and we didn't pick it up.
When he gave the signal for holding,
Was it Chris Dahlman, the center, 67?
could well have been.
Could have been.
Should have been.
Holding Keith Traylor, so it's 3rd down and 14 instead of the touchdown. And Young throws, and that one is caught by Owens, and Owens has a first down to the 47-yard line.
Well, these two outside receivers have really come around. Again, that holding call was against 67, Chris Dahlman. We'll look at it again, and this was nothing. This was a total takedown. But again, a look at Owens across the middle, where the 49ers have worked so effectively this evening.
Darian Gordon following Owens across the formation. Just too late to react and get in on the play. And a rare 49er running play.
William Floyd for 3.
'49ers spreading it around. 6 different receivers. Connecting up with Steve Young. That's their offense.
That's a lot of production.
Last week, Young's first 7 pass completions were to 7 different receivers. So spreading it around, that's become the 49er mantra this year. 2nd down and 7 from the 50-yard line. Young rolling, throwing. Jones works the sideline, and he's a yard shy of the first down and gets a shot in at Romanowski, his next mate.
2 roommates team up as Jones just came back to give Steve Young a checkoff and comes up close to the first down.
I think Brent Jones reacting that at the end of this play, Romanowski gave him his best shot, and Brent Jones was still standing right here. And Brent got the foot down, took that one, and flips the ball to Romanowski. I think I took it, and it didn't bother me at all.
Well, they're former teammates.
3rd down and 1 from the 44. And Floyd, second effort, nets the first down.
Well, it's going to be asked of William Floyd, should Garrison Hearst not be able to come back for that first playoff game. Right now, when they go single back with 2 tight ends, Floyd is the main man. He'll be carrying the football a lot more than he did before Hearst was injured. But without Hearst, the 49er offense is just philosophically different. They're going to expect more from Steve Young. More bootlegs, perhaps the draw play.
Waning seconds of the 3rd quarter. Young, pump fake. Young going deep into double coverage, but incomplete. Good coverage that time on Owens. Darian Gordon back there with him, and Tyrone Braxton.
Well, what Garrison Hearst brings to them offensively, when you look at Floyd, he averages 3 yards a carry. Kirby about 3.5 yards a carry. But Garrison Hearst, with over 1,000 yards, was averaging almost 4.5 yards a carry. And he gives them an explosiveness that is lacking from Kirby and Floyd. Neither one of those guys is really going to break off the big gainer.
He's their Terrell Davis.
Yeah. By far and away, the fastest guy is Chuck Levy, but he's really not much of a threat from the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 10. Kirby, no threat here. Trevor Price, the rookie from Clemson, knocks him down. And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. San Francisco 24, Denver 17. Monday Night Football resumes after this.
Young is holding his arm as he comes off the field.
It was a
hanging it down.
3rd down play.
Again, he's been hit a lot tonight. He's hit right on that left shoulder.
It looks like he got hit on the elbow. It looks like his elbow might have made contact with the helmet.
Trevor Price made him pay one, and the 49ers will punt. Darian Gordon is back to receive. Tommy Thompson to put it in the air. Angles it to the near corner. Drops it inside the 5, but it just does bounce into the end zone. And the Broncos take over at the 20. 14:44 left in regulation. Steve walking it off. His team up by a touchdown. On first down, trailing by 7. Elway hangs in under pressure, and then reaching in was Tyrone Drakeford to knock it down. Intended for McCaffrey. Drakeford is taking Rod Woodson's spot at the corner.
Well, the old zone blitz comes off the corner. Dana Stubblefield drops back into coverage, and Drakeford, knowing the blitz is on, is playing the short patterns, gambling that it's going to be a breakout by one of the wide receivers. He was right and all over it. Rod Woodson, again, awkwardly strained his neck, sitting it out.
2nd and 10, they give it to Hebron with Terrell Davis done for the night, picks up 3. So Davis is done for the night. Elway's numbers are very ugly tonight. John is 11 of 27 for 79 yards.
And he's taken a lot of shots, too, after he's thrown the ball. Not sacked that many times, but he has taken some vicious hits.
3rd down 7 now from the 23.
Comes the blitz again.
And they convert. Big conversion. Caught by Smith. And a big gain all the way to midfield. He's out of bounds at his own 49.
Single coverage. If you pick up the blitz and you get the completion, you're going to get big yardage.
I can't recall the last time I saw the 49ers go through a stretch of blitzing as often as they have been here in the last 10 or 12 Denver plays. John Marshall is just really coming at them. This is out of the norm. The 49ers, a much more basic defensive football team most of the time.
That time the 49ers were one man short defensively.
Timeout, San Francisco. First charge timeout.
And they had to take that timeout because they had 10 men on the field.
.48 left in the 4th. The Denver Broncos at their own 49-yard line, trailing by 7. 1st and 10 after that 26-yard hookup. Elway to Smith on a 3rd down play. Hebron tackled in the backfield. Bryant Young.
Boy, it's been a tough year for Bryant Young. He has just been bothered by an ankle and a foot all season long, has really never played the way he played last year, and that's just an all-out sellout. Talk about getting upfield and trying to disrupt things.
Looks like he's getting healthy just the right time, Dan.
Yeah, hopefully he's getting back close, but this is a game that Steve Mariucci said he wouldn't be playing tonight if Green Bay would have lost. Green Bay keeping the pressure on the 49ers, forcing Young to play.
2nd and 10. Elway guns it, caught by the tight end Sharp. And Shannon takes it to the 47-yard line.
Another blitz by the 49ers. They continue to come at Elway. And there's Pat Bowlen. I'd like to congratulate he and Annabelle. They had a little baby girl, Christina, who joined the family last Thursday. And he is not happy with what's happening here tonight.
Well, he's watching his team. A month ago, they were in such great shape. And now, all of a sudden, looking at a wild card. And if they lose tonight and were to lose next week and Jacksonville won, they'd be looking at a wild card game on the road. Elway throws, and that's dropped by Rod Smith.
Well, this was one of the problems they had against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've talked about it all night. Right in the hands of Rod Smith. That's a couple he's lost tonight. And that was up close to the first down. Plenty of time for Elway. Couldn't put it in a better place. 11 times they dropped the football against the Steelers last week.
Tom ruins a punt. 49ers came across. There was action up front. James Williams was the guy who So if it's against the 49ers, it's 4th down and 1.
I wonder if there's multiple fouls here.
George Stewart, the Niners special teams coach. It is a hold against Denver and offside against the 49ers. They'll do it again on 4th and 6. Rick Dennison, the former Bronco linebacker, now the coach of the special teams.
Fouls in the play. Holding on the kicking team, number 56. Offsides on the right end. Defense. The penalty's offset. Replay 4th down.
Keith Burns, the guilty Bronco. James Williams for the 49ers. Since '78, when the NFL instituted buys for teams, 100 teams have played in that first round, and only 3 have gone to the Super Bowl, and the Broncos looking squarely into the face of those numbers right now. And as we say, in a worst-case scenario, a road wildcard game.
Holding again.
Holding, yep, 2 flags are down. And the ball skitters into the end zone. Anthony Lynn of the Broncos.
To call this a hold is to be very kind and generous. Anthony Lynn guilty of an all-out tackle right out in the middle of nowhere where everybody could see it.
That's a lot of football player there. Kevin Gogan, 6'7", about 340 or 50.
Holding, kicking team, number 37. 10 yards, repeat 4th down.
Look on the right side of your screen, 37. You think this is holding? Maybe. So, you thought Rick Dennison was mad before. What do you think he feels like now? Let's try this again. Fatigue now becomes a bit of a factor, covering a punt for the 3rd time.
And the one guy who's not fatigued is Chuck Levy, the run-back guy for the 49ers. He's fresh, and he's the fastest guy on the team. Another flag. Levy at the 7. Oh, another flag on the run back.
Well, certainly a block from behind by the 49ers. That was pretty obvious.
Well, it looks like he's going to come back one more time. Procedure.
Yep. Illegal use of the hands, and we will have a 4th punt. Puntorama.
A do-over.
All right, Phil, let's get it going.
Illegal formation on the offense for 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Illegal hands to the back on the receiving team, number 51. This occurred after the change of possession. By rule, San Francisco retains the ball after their penalty, 1st down.
Thank you.
Yes. Only 3 punts.
An unexpected break. Terrible field position for the 49ers. So even after all the Denver mistakes, it still works out for the Broncos.
J.J. Stokes, the intended receiver. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Ford Explorer, because the world is too big to be left unexplored. Black & Decker Inn as good as the best Holiday Inn.
Well, none of those people in their vehicles are folks that have left the stadium. With only a touchdown lead, nobody's leaving this thing early. This game very much still in doubt.
Third down and 5. Young surveys from the end zone and then throws it away. Nobody open.
Well, he was trying to go screen left, and Denver was all over it. So he very wisely threw it away. And it'll be good field position for the Broncos, or it should be.
Rarely has a team benefited from as many mistakes in the kicking game as Denver did in that last possession. After 3 consecutive mistakes punting the football, they end up pinning the 49ers at the 7-yard line. The 49ers do absolutely nothing with it. And now the Broncos are going to come out of this, if they handle the punt cleanly, with pretty good field position.
Joe Montana looks on. Tommy Thompson to kick from the end zone. Darian Gordon, one of the best ever at running back punts, won't have the opportunity because the kick is a short one and dies in the bog at the 41-yard line. And the Broncos now
have to be thrilled.
Yes, not only thrilled, but also they're going to have to capitalize, because you're looking at a team that up until Pete Stoyanovich kicks a 54-yard field goal at the gun into the wind, appears to be solidly on its way to home field advantage throughout the playoffs, to a team that right now is going to have to win if they lose here tonight, next week, to host a wild card game. 38 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime in his illustrious career, as Elway out of the gun throws, and it's picked off by Lee Woodall into Bronco territory.
47 to go. William Floyd wrestles his way to the 8-yard line for a gain of 3. Trevor Price in on the tackle. Stubblefield, 15 sacks to lead the league. Amazing for an interior lineman.
And he hasn't had a sack in the last 3 weeks. He'd built up an early lead, and boy, just a really subpar night for John Elway, and just like that, you know, it's not a poorly thrown Elway ball, just unfortunate for the Broncos tip, and this is the result.
Second and 7. Young tripped from behind. It was Alfred Williams saving what might have been a touchdown.
Williams wearing that cast-like bandage on his right arm for that torn tricep. Both he and
Neil Smith, both
Neil
of them.
Smith have the same problem, and it's really painful.
I know that you like to refer to your ends as bookends, but I think it's taking it to the extreme that they both have exactly the same injury.
They really don't have a chance or time to set it out and get it well.
On 3rd and 8. Young flares one. Kirby puts his head down and comes close to getting a first down. He's a little short. And the 49ers.
Oh, a field goal here puts you up by 10.
Well, you got to do it.
Officials time. They're going to take a look at going to measure. The 49ers want to see just how far short they are.
Lots and lots of time left at 9:17, but you make it a 2-score ball game with a successful field goal. Boy, that's hard to pass up. Especially with that guy, Gary Anderson, who's as steady as they get.
This may not be that close either.
Almost a yard.
You got to send Anderson in.
Oh, boy, yeah.
And they do.
At least to make him score twice.
Gary tonight has made a 32-yarder and missed a 35-yarder. And again, Anderson now 2 shy of Nick Lowry's record of 383 career field goals. At this point in each man's career, Lowry having played in 15 more games than Gary Anderson. 20-yard attempt. Tommy Thompson to hold. Puts them up by 10 with career field goal number 382. 9:05 left in regulation. San Francisco 27, Denver 17.
Son, do you think you could stand a few more words of advice from your old man? Dad. Just a little wedding night guidance from someone who's been there. Son, are you prepared?
Dad, Pepsid AC? For me? Hors d'oeuvres?
Look at all this spicy food. You could be in agony. Pepsid AC can stop heartburn before it starts.
Before it starts, huh?
Wouldn't want heartburn keeping you up tonight now. Now, would we?
You can be heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
Foot action is seeing the game as only he can. It's cutting through the jerseys in motion and dissecting with cool efficiency any player who stands in your way. It's also where you get the tools to break him down. Like the Nike Air Hype Up Tempo. For every action, there's foot action.
Explorer when no town's big enough for the both of you. Have you driven a Ford lately?
For the first time on network television,
I'm pregnant.
Emma Thompson, Danny DeVito, and Arnold deliver.
Is this your first?
Yes.
Junior, Sunday on ABC.
That's one way to crystallize it when you look at those numbers. Steve Young, his number up near where it is for the season. And Elway, 25.2. And we know it's an esoteric situation, basically, and but John has not had a rating in a game that low since 1986. From the 6-yard line, Derek Lavelle, the former 49er, out past the 40. Maybe Drakeford trying to run him down, and finally does at the 32-yard line. But that is exactly what the Broncos needed at this point in the game, to the dismay of George Stewart, the Niners special teams coach.
We've got a Denver Bronco that's injured and down on the field back at the 31-yard line.
61-yard run back. That's Dwayne Carswell, the injured Bronco. A couple of years ago, this man, Lavelle, was the #1 back for the 49ers.
Had a lot of starts for the 49ers.
Well, it's a combination of some good blocking at the beginning of this return, but then it's a case of Lavelle breaking 49er attempted tackles. And he broke about 3 of them on the way.
Goodyear blimp Eagle. Circling the moon. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Elway going deep, and the pass was to the outside, and Willie Green was curling back to the inside.
That inside-out coverage, Pope on the outside and Merton Hanks on the inside, and Elway just basically throwing it away.
So many great stories tonight. One thing we really haven't touched on, I mean, you go back now that he's on the verge of being 13-2. The 49ers, the hiring of Steve Mariucci, what a shock that was last January, and the way it's turned out right now.
You remember when we were here in August and they played Jacksonville here, and they were routed by the Jaguars, and we left here going, you know, there could be big trouble here.
2nd and 10, and this is Green taking it to the 15-yard line for a first down, tackled by Bronson.
And I think he proved his mettle when they came away from that first loss. They went down to Tampa Bay and got bombarded. And down went Young with a concussion. They lose Jerry Rice, and that had to be about as low as you could get. And he kept his team together, and he kept himself together, and he's proven that he belongs in this league, I think. And he's a real class act.
And right now, Denver is trying to make a case that this game's not over.
From the 15-yard line, Hebron. A hard-earned 5 yards from the 10-yard line, tackled there by Zach Bronson.
When your offense is predicated on the running of Terrell Davis, as Denver's offense has been all season long, this is a tough way to shift gears for them. Nothing against Von Hebron, but he's not Terrell Davis. And you've got to do a lot of things differently. Gary Kubiak walking the sidelines.
2nd and 6. Davis
20-plus carries in 14 straight games, an NFL record, but out in the first half tonight, shoulder injury. And so Hebron's been the man, and he picks up one here to set up a 3rd down and 5. Before he went out of the game, Davis had carried tonight 10 times for 28 yards. Hebron has now carried 12 times for 64 yards.
And of course, he had the big run. Somewhat 36 yards.
Well, a lot of it is just when the guys look around the huddle. When you've got a 1,700-yard ball player, that's a guy that everybody in the huddle looks to and is used to seeing. And all of a sudden, you subtract somebody with that kind of productivity from the huddle. A lot of it's psychological. It's natural to lose a little confidence.
3rd down and 5, and it is behind Willie Green.
And too, when you can run the football like the Cam with Terrell Davis, you can throw the football a lot easier.
Elway angry, but at least they're in position to make it a 7-point game again.
Well, John angered himself, I think, Al. He had a wide-open receiver, and John just throws away from him back behind him. And Willie Green has absolutely no chance to react back to that football.
This is a 29-yard field goal attempt for Jason Elam. Tom Rulen puts it down, and the kick is wide.
That hurts.
That's a killer at this point.
Elam not exactly having a strong night tonight. Boy, he's normally pretty dead with that thing.
He made a 49er, missed a 44, and now misses a 29. And with 6:37 remaining in regulation, the Niners are that far away from home field throughout, and that far away from giving Kansas City home field throughout the AFC.
And I suspect that our audience in Kansas City is pretty big.
I think really have to give them a lot of credit for what they've done. They lose their starting quarterback, 6 weeks ago? They reel off now 5 straight wins. Big wins.
From the 20-yard line on 1st down. And this is Kirby. If this continues, the Broncos will be in a situation next week where they will either have to beat San Diego at home, and they'll be heavily favored to do that, or have Jacksonville lose to the moribund Raiders next week in Oakland. But if Jacksonville were to win and Denver were to lose, then Denver would have to play Jacksonville in the playoffs in Florida.
In Jacksonville. And that is a scenario that nobody in Denver was envisioning 5 weeks ago. Impossible.
2nd down and 3. Young and Masker are taking the play clock down, and Floyd gets it out to the 29-yard line. Third and 1. Steve Young, just a glance at the play clock, a guy who can take that all the way down. If he picks up the 1st down here, he really puts Denver in a bind because they need a couple of timeouts, and then they'll be forced to start thinking about taking timeouts on defense.
Well, this is precisely the situation and why the 49ers have added so much muscle up front. Ray Brown at 315, Gogan at 330. This is not the old 49er line where a lot of finesse was necessary. They can muscle up if they have to.
Young takes it down to 1 tick, and on 3rd and 1, it's Kirby, but the best laid plans go a little awry here because it's 4th down.
Oh, you go with a delay. That's a wild call. That's not getting a chance to use your muscle.
Well, it was more like a draw play. Yeah. And, you're talking 3rd and 1. You're not. Denver's defense is certainly not thinking any kind of pass, so the draw loses a lot of effectiveness.
That's not power football.
That's a strange call.
Yeah.
And now the 49ers have to punt. Tommy Thompson will send it down to Darian Gordon. Gordon ran over and then let watch it bounce, and it bounces out of bounds near midfield.
Oh, he thought about it.
Well, once again, Denver gets excellent field position. They have had 3 or 4 possessions here where they cannot complain about where they've started on the football field, and they've done very little with it.
Defense here in the second half has really toughened up. Came into the game as #1 in the league. Here in the second half, they played that way.
Elway. Pressure, almost loses the football. In fact, it is loose. And it's Kevin Green who comes up with a football.
He's going to score.
Kevin Green. Touchdown.
That ball just came out of the pile, and the whistle had not blown. Kevin had a hard time picking it up.
Well, John couldn't find anybody downfield. He just could not find a receiver, couldn't pull the trigger.
Good coverage downfield. Just there you see the ball coming out of the pile.
And the Broncos, none of his offensive linemen who are back there are aware that the ball is loose. Only Harry Swain, number 74, is giving any kind of pursuit at all. And the Broncos find themselves in the midst of a nightmare.
Point after by Anderson. Green scores the 3rd touchdown of his career. A guy who led the league in sacks last year, held out, didn't report to the Carolina Panthers. They released him, the 49ers, that veteran-friendly group.
It's kind of a luxury to the 49ers. They really had no place to play him, and all of a sudden Roy Barker went down with an injury, and he's been able to fill in for Roy Barker, so the luxury turned into a necessity on the part of the 49ers, and it just turned into a touchdown for Kevin Green.
At least he didn't dive into the end zone. I remember one of his previous 2. Remember, he launched himself from about the 3-yard line.
Well, maybe he's going to do it again for us.
Well, Kevin giving the football to someone in the stands to hold for him, and Coach M says thank you. What a night for John Elway.
John Elway, 14 of 34 for 129 yards. The 2 interceptions were huge. That play writes a finish to this one, the last one here.
Well, he came in with what could have been his best quarterback rating of his career. Had he been able to been even close to his...
Actually, the most accurate missile launched tonight was by Bill Romanowski.
Broncos, until tonight, the Broncos had either had the turnover advantage in every game or been even. They were never on the minus side of the plus-minus. There it is, until tonight. Pick taken at the 5-yard line. Derek Lavelle brings it back up to the 30-yard line. Kevin Green, what a character he is. The guy who was with the Rams and then the Steelers and then on to the Panthers, and this is what he does in his spare time. The great American fan.
That's against Steve McMichael, remember, the former defensive tackle for the Chicago Bears.
Mongo.
He has to escape the ring to recover. And boy, I love spontaneous wrestling like that. It's so pure.
Throws, and that's incomplete. Tip, or might have been hit. 3:50 to go in the 4th.
I don't know what that was.
That was a let's get on the plane and go home to Denver and regroup and beat San Diego and
see what happens.
Start all over again. If the Broncos win next week, they will host a wild card game, most likely against Jacksonville. 2nd down and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Smith up at the 36-yard line.
And again, a reminder that the team that has had the home field advantage in the National Football Conference 5 out of the last 6 years has used that advantage and gone on and won the Super Bowl. Not just got to the Super Bowl, they won the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and 5 of the last 6.
49ers undefeated here in this year.
3rd down and 4. And that's caught by Sharp, and he's out of bounds. And the Niners just keep rolling despite, and we chronicled it tonight, the problems with Ed DeBartolo being forced to resign his position. But in effect, Carmen Policy has been running this team on a daily basis as the president and the CEO for 7 years. And the 49ers and Steve Mariucci are convinced that this organization will not miss a beat along the way here.
And Dwight Clark has emerged as a real fine executive. Great receiver for Joe Montana for so many years.
Elway on 1st down from the 49 throws, and that's incomplete.
Another drop pass.
Yeah, Dwight Clark, and through the years, John McVay was here and did a wonderful job, and they know how to scout, and they know how to draft and trade and work the salary cap, put people in the seats, and take home Lombardi trophies. And there might be a 6th one in the near future.
Well, winning was more important than money. Spending money to win was not a problem for Ed DeBartolo and the 49er organization.
2nd and 10. Elway flushed, chased, and just throws it away. And as the Broncos lick their wounds and go home, you have to wonder about Terrell Davis, and will he play next week? Tony Jones, their starting tackle, is on the bench right now on the sideline, and they are icing his leg, and Harry Swain is replacing him.
Now, some good news for Denver is that hopefully their starting left guard, Mark Schlereth, will be back starting to practice with the ball club. Maybe he'll be back. There's Mark right there. That he'll be back in time for the playoffs. That'd be a help.
On 3rd and 10, that pass is too high. Intended for Rod Smith, and it's 4th down.
Not a good sign. That knee wrapped, and
I think we've got an injury downfield. I think Zach Bronson might be hurt for the 49ers.
Bronson has made some plays for them tonight. It's more like a cramp, but wouldn't you say, Dan, the way
they grabbed his foot and are pulling it back. Lindsey McClain, the trainer of the 49ers, quickly there.
Part of this field, they're very soft. Bronson, the nickel back for the 49ers, and made a couple of good plays tonight.
Halfway to the Stars and all the way to home field advantage in San Francisco. Rice to roll. That's a good sign on a night like tonight. Jerry Rice making his return to the lineup. Ray Seals. Never mind.
Ray.
Bronson assisted off.
Neil Smith on another day in another country. We watched Neil Smith doing a little bullfighting.
A couple of years ago doing that preseason game in Mexico. And for the 49er faithful, a great night, a victory for their team.
Those kids will have something to talk about and remember for a long, long time.
And the crowd tonight in excess of 68,000. 4th down. Broncos need 10 to keep the football on 4th down, and Elway throws, and that's almost picked off, and had it not been almost picked off, it would have been out of bounds anyway. Darnell Walker with the coverage on McCaffrey.
Well, it has been a while since this Denver offense, and John Elway in particular, has had such a difficult time of doing much of anything.
Just a desperation throw by John Elway there on 4th down. But with the exception of the Kansas City game on the part of the 49ers, this defense has been what has made this 49er team and has brought them to what is now a 13-2 record. Number 1 in the league. Came in tonight second against the rush, first against the pass, and they have shown that.
From the 50-yard line, it is Kirby. And Terry just slows down because he doesn't want to stop the clock. Smart to keep it going. Well, Montana to Rice, you saw the sign. And when the 49ers in Super Bowl 24 in New Orleans faced these Broncos, well, it was Montana to Rice as the 49ers won their 4th Lombardi Trophy of the decade in a monstrous rout, 55-10. Along the way, Montana was the MVP in 3 of those 4 victories, and Rice was the MVP in the other. The 2-minute warning coming up from San Francisco. The Niners up by 17.
We need everybody today. Every single person on this team. Comes from the heart, baby. Dominate. Dominate. 1, 2, 3. Fast in. Bring it on, baby. Sideline to the 35-30. He's gone. One clean time, man. One clean time, baby.
You may not remember exactly when it first hit you.
Turn it up about 10 notches now.
But somewhere along the way, you felt it.
Continue now. Continue to pass it.
And you knew.
Get in there, baby. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, lock it down, baby. Lock it down.
Feel the power.
And we're going to bid goodnight to the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, providing the spectacular shots high above the stadium here in San Francisco. And a reminder also that you can check out all of the NFL action online at NFL.com. Scores, stats, video clip highlights of all the games at that website address.
Montana to Rice accounted for 55 regular season touchdowns for Jerry Rice out of his unbelievable 154. That's just the regular season.
49ers now can pretty much run the clock out unless the Broncos want to stop it. 40-yard line. That is Terry Kirby. And we can tell you that as we wind down our season, tonight's game produced by the great Ken Wolf and directed by the great Craig Janoff. The adjectives clearly apply. Joe Chavo, our technical director. Ben Harvey is our associate producer on a week-in, week-out basis. Our AD, as they say in the business, is Jaime Bravo. Scott Silverman, Claude Phipps, and Hal Schmitz, making sure the sights and sounds come out of San Francisco. Chris Pfeiffer and Bill Boland, who do all of the work, grunt and otherwise. Our director of information, Steve Hurt. Kim Bauer up here in the booth with us. Our statistician, as always, is George Hill of Puyallup. And our spotter is the one and only Malibu, Kelly Hayes. Neil Smith looks like he can use a week in Malibu right about now. And John Elway's numbers are about as grim as you will ever see, with his picture filling up the screen. A 29.5 rating. First down from the 40-yard line as Floyd fights his way down to the 37-yard line. 49ers go to Seattle next week, and Mariucci can just make sure everybody is healthy. Then they'll have a week off, and they'll host a playoff game here the weekend of January 3rd. Broncos go home, meet San Diego, a team that has now lost 7 straight. And they'll have to win or have Jacksonville lose to Oakland to make sure they have a playoff game at home.
And the AFC now belongs to the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you want to go somewhere, you got to go to Arrowhead, and you have to beat them there.
And what a beauty we have coming up next Monday night.
Going to be great. Remember, if the Jets win next week, if the Jets beat Detroit, the winner of our game next week to the playoffs as the AFC East champion, the loser goes home. And even if the Jets lose, the winner of that game will host a wild card the following week, and the loser will be the road team. Steve Mariucci is now 13-2 in his remarkable rookie year.
And what you have to think about right now, Al, is when you look at the 49ers, and we've seen the Packers all year, is anybody over in the AFC the equal of either one of those two ball clubs? It's been NFC domination for a long time, and I'm not so sure that we're close to seeing an end of it.
Well, the Chiefs can say, but we knocked off the 49ers 44-9 a couple of weeks ago. We'll find out. Steve Young getting ready. Lynn Swan's going to chat with him when we come back to San Francisco, where the Niners have done it again, 34-17.